like a boss.
And the combination, actually, of the coronavirus and what happened with oil over the weekend, I mean, that's a big 1-2 punch.
Does this remind you of any other time?
Well, I've certainly been a fair number of times when panic has reigned in Wall Street. And October 19, 1987, and the period around it, I mean, there was panic. At the close of business on Monday, October 19th, most of the specialist firms, which were important in those days on the New York Stock Exchange, were broke. And the next morning, there was a check due to the clearinghouse in Chicago that didn't get there. And sometime late in the morning, a decision, I think Phelan had made the decision, we're going to stay open. But it was really close. That was, and of course, the financial panic. There were, you had 35 million people on September 1st that weren't worried at all about their money market accounts. On September 15th or 16th, they were all panicked.
What year was that?
Well, that was 2008.
2008.
Yeah, so 2008, and you literally had $3.5 trillion in money market accounts, which people regard as the equivalent of cash or a bank deposit. That was half the amount of all the insured bank deposits in the country, but these weren't insured.
Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we are looking at the oil crisis of 2020. This indeed has a major impact on the market. As I believe money is shifting from one asset to another. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can profit from that inevitable transition as a result. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, known as a crypto trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you can profit as a result. So if you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. I come out with these videos every time I see a major break in the market that ultimately can help you make some money. In addition to that, I do have a Telegram channel, Telegram group that is listed in the link in the description. Feel free to join that. It's 500 people and growing every day, and it's 100% completely free. Also, one should note that this major move in the market was actually noted and presented to you guys back more than nearly a month ago, March 27th. This was from my Twitter page at Boss of Bitcoin. I said Black Monday 2020 is coming. Prepare accordingly. And that's exactly what it seems has happened today with regards to oil. So here it goes right here. This is the market beat. It says oil price goes negative, right? They can't give this stuff away. As demand collapses and stocks dip, oil prices plunged below zero on Monday. Never before seen numbers. A barrel of oil fell to negative $37 per barrel as traders sought to avoid owning oil with nowhere to store it. Essentially, supply has superseded demand, and now these guys can't give this stuff away for free. The S&P also fell almost 2%, giving some of the big gains from its first back-to-back weekly gain since February. This is a breaking news update published today, April 20th, 4/20, 2020, right? So you got the triple 20s in there, 4/20, and oil has taken a catastrophic plunge. When we look at the 3-day chart, this goes all the way back to 2001, right? I wanted to get this thing from 2000, really, right? You can see that we did have some suitable harmonics built into this thing. We superseded it back in, I think that was 2008. But for the most part, as long as we were above roughly $50, right? That's kind of been the benchmark that Wall Street uses to chart oil and to scale its profitability and health of the market. As long as we were above $50, essentially the market was good. Once we fell below that, then we were in catastrophic territories, and the global economy, given that the petrodollar is based on oil, oftentimes was impacted as a result. If you aren't familiar with this methodology that I use to chart assets, Bitcoin included, then I strongly suggest you Google how to chart like a boss and watch the playlist right there at the top of the list that will teach you how to use my method and how to make money in the market forever, right? This thing is called the boss method. It's something I developed and I give it away to the world completely free, right? So as you can see, crude oil is now well below our $50 threshold level. And honestly, it's nearing catastrophic territories for the market, right? This is a chart of Black Monday 1987. This is what Warren Buffett referred to earlier in a video when he said the sell-off and the panic and the fear that the market felt all over the world. At the time, I think the global markets were only about $3.5 trillion. Now, it's upwards of 100 trillion. But essentially, we had oil fall, or the S&P fall, from 320 down to 240. That's a loss of almost 40% overnight. And it was crazy. It basically induced the huge market sell-off, and you had the oil embargo and the crisis and the fuel lines and all these major things that eventually put downward pressure on the market, and it took a very, very, very long time for the market to recover. One of the things I want to talk about is the concept of never letting a good crisis go to waste, right? When you look at a SWOT chart analysis, right? Depending on what side of the spectrum you view it from, a threat can also be viewed as an opportunity. A weakness can also be viewed as a strength. And I think that is the most important thing to note from this video, right? This is indeed a crisis insofar as the global markets are concerned, insofar as the petrodollar is concerned, insofar as oil in general is concerned. Essentially, we are reaching never before seen territory, and as a result, the future will never be the same as it was in the past. And this quote right here, "Never let a good crisis go to waste," has been repeated by many, many puppets over the past decade, HC included, Rahm Emanuel included. And in addition to that, you also have, I think the origin of it was Churchill, right? Winston Churchill. And one should note that he was actually the Prime Minister of Britain during World War II. And so this is where this quote come from: "Never let a good crisis go to waste." And that was the man that was running the scene during World War II, right? This is what I think the alternative investment should be to offset and mitigate the risk to the current status quo. As I mentioned, the dollar is based on oil. It is literally called and referred to as the petrodollar. However, during that exact time that I showed you in the thumbnail, when oil was going from $150 in 2008 to negative territory at this point, $30 and lower in 2020. During that exact same time, Bitcoin has had exponential growth. So while you have negative pressure on one asset, you have exponential growth on another. And this is what I talk about in all of my videos. I do believe cryptocurrency is the next step, the next phase, the next evolution of traditional currency. And they are both mutually exhaustive, meaning that for every dollar that appears in the cryptoverse, for every penny invested and stored in Bitcoin as a unit value, that is one penny that disappears out of the petrodollar global regime. And this chart shows it, right? Oil essentially went down from 2008, hitting all-time highs of almost $150 to today. Technically, it's at negative yield, right? As we saw in the article before. But when you're on the right side of the trade, you can profit greatly from these numbers, right? So never let it go to waste. This is all you talk about. When Warren Buffett talks about when others are fearful, you need to be greedy, right? When others are greedy, you need to be fearful. Wayne Gretzky said, skate to where the puck is going, never skate to where it's at today. This is where the puck is going. Cryptocurrency is the future. It was invented to counteract the global manipulation and suppression of value to the people. It literally turns the pyramid upside down and gives strength to the cohort and the founders and the users that value it, not to the selected few that benefit at the top of that pyramid, right? And this is one more chart. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average chart from 1920, the Great Depression, all the way up to 2020, a 100-year cycle. And I think we have indeed burst the everything bubble. This is what Mike Maloney talks about when he specifically references, kind of the global economy needing to be reset, and all of the asset classes presumably going to a perceived market value of zero. This would almost induce a 96.5% retracement. You do not want to be holding your value in any asset tied to this collapse as that is happening. When that happens, this will take place over several years, if not several decades, but it will indeed happen given the current trend, right? And this is what I talk about on this channel. This is how I help you to prosper and to benefit from what I do believe is the greatest transition of wealth in the history of humanity. Make no mistake about it. These are indeed the end times for the current status quo, right? And as a result, they are indeed the beginning times for the next unit storage of value. And I believe that is BTC. Today, we do have a down day. As I stated on this channel, it is correlated to the stock market. So right now, as one goes down, it's putting downward pressure on the other. However, that will not be a forever trend. I do believe Bitcoin has its own fundamentals and its own capabilities and its own intrinsic value to stand alone against the US dollar. However, that is not the case right now. So we do have quick downward pressure on the system, but when you look at the greater chart, which compares the two of them, one of them went down 85% in the past decade, and the other has gone up tens of thousands of percent during that same time span. So make no mistake about it, BTC is the future. You can indeed profit and prosper as a result of this transition, and I invite you to do so on the website listed right here. This is bossofbitcoin.com. If you want to learn more on how to trade and how to make money with the boy BK in the market every day, this is how we do it. We have two options for you. The first of which is the profit package, $50 for the first month. It's a very eclectic and in tune crypto trading group. And then we also have the VIP trading group. I think if you have at least half a Bitcoin, probably $3,000 or more in the market, this is the group you want to be in. I put daily trades in this group, limit sales, stop losses, swing trades, everything that I can give you. Out of freestyle on the Fibonacci, sine wave analysis, everything I can give you, I make accessible through this VIP trading group. I call it the Boss Alert Messages, aka BAM! You know what I'm saying? Because we are trying to make some money. We are trying to benefit, to prosper, and to profit, and to never let this crisis go to waste. The entire world is in panic right now. The entire world has been confined to their living rooms to be force-fed the garbage that has been fed to them through the multimedia outlets, and literally watch their life savings disappear right in front of their eyes while they are helpless to those who currently have the power. Well, guess what, baby? Like Sam Cooke say, change go come. And that is coming through self-taught knowledge. And that is coming through intrinsic value of blockchain technology. That is coming through fractal harmonics and understanding the inner workings, the consciousness of currency, and using this boss method to better humanity. And that day is here. So if you like what you heard, baby, I invite you, come and join the crypto trading community. The link is in the description. If you want to put down 2 and pick up 6 like a boss, do so on bossofbitcoin.com with the different products and packages we have available. And thank you for watching this video. I do believe that we do have a transition upon us. And if we can start to think like these billionaires do themselves, then we can soon be one day. With that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boats. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay, or California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Huh?